We know that two of the victims were part of Davis's unhoused community, and the city is responding with extra resources for those people living on the streets. And Becca Habegger joins us from Davis and is at the site where that Monday stabbing just took place.
It's here, officials tell us, near 2nd and L Streets in Davis, where an unhoused woman was stabbed through her tent on Monday night. Let me say that again. She was stabbed through her tent where she slept, her only barrier to the outside. Now, others in her encampment heard her scream. The attacker ran away, and she's recovering in the hospital tonight. But her stabbing, as well as the first stabbing, another unhoused man in Davis's Central Park, has the unhoused community here fearing for their lives.
You know, it's just shattering to, this kind of crime. It's like, it's crazy. And
Bill Movey is part of the unhoused community here in Davis, where he has lived for nearly 50 years.
Davis is a really laid-back community.
He's living in temporary housing here at Paul's Place, a new 4-story housing and resource center. He moved in days before the first attack and says the unhoused community is on edge.
Kind of anxious for everybody out there. I mean, we have our housing, but, a lot of people don't out there. And I'd hate to be out there.
He says he knows the victim of the third stabbing, the woman who survived and is recovering in the hospital.
We become friends because she was at the cold weather shelter with us, my wife and I, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're in it, so we know everybody involved then.
He says another member of the unhoused community is in touch with her, and she seems to be improving.
I'm just glad she's all right, or getting better, put it that way.
Who it could be and why they're doing this and just the randomness of the whole thing, I think that's a very scary thing for almost anybody, and particularly when you're homeless and vulnerable like that.
Bill Pride is the executive director of Davis Community Meals and Housing, which serves people experiencing homelessness in Davis. At last count, Pride says about 180 people were experiencing homelessness in the city of Davis, 100 of whom were living on the streets.
Well, everybody wanted to come in yesterday. I mean, I think everybody in town, especially after the Monday night incident when, the person went right through the tent to attack the woman, I think it brought home to everybody living homeless in the city of Davis to the idea that everybody's at risk at this point.
He says in partnership with the city, his organization has opened 24 emergency beds specifically to get people off the streets while the attacker or attackers are still on the loose. 19 people used those beds on Tuesday night, and the beds are filled for Wednesday night. I asked the executive director of Davis Community Meals and Housing how people can help. He says they have a list of needs on their website. We've put a link to that on our website, abc10.com/links.